Hello, hello. Yeah, I didn't realize I was muted when I was trying to speak. Uh, yeah, let's see if I have like more people join. I'm trying to load my slides. Just take a while. So let's see. How are you doing today? And how's your Saturday going? Hope you are having fun, learning something new at the same time. Okay, let's see. Yeah, I'm trying to get my screen up here. Hey, hi Ade, how you doing today? And let me know in the comment section where you're tuning in from and how your weekend is going. 5 a.m. vibes, doing the project for a friend challenge. Ooh, 5 a.m. vibes. I can relate to 5 a.m. vibes. So usually I cycle early in the morning when I wake up, like early in the morning, 5:30. I just go and cycle. I love to cycle a lot, so I like first how I start my day early in the morning, 5 times. I'm just hitting the road cycling. Okay, I hope it's a fun project and I hope you're having fun with it. Hi, what's up? Hello, hi. It's too late here. What time is it? Hi, Mega from India. I do use AI agents in 8 and 8. Yeah, I use A and 8 a lot. Not a lot. Yeah, but I use it like for integrations, helping clients basically. Yeah. Hello, hello. Okay, so 1 second. I'm going to see exactly why my slide is not coming up. So let's find out why. I don't know why it's not coming out. So let's find out. Okay, 1 second. Uh, not sure why it's not coming out, but I'm going to try to download it as a PDF and share it. So I shared the link to the GitHub repo we'll be using today. Up to the comment section, but why I sort it out. I'm just gonna try to download it as a PDF. Hopefully that looks better. Okay, so I think I lost. What keeps second? Still not coming up. I'm not sure why it's not coming up. Right. That is present. When the screen doesn't come up. Yeah, it can do that. Yeah, let's do that instead. Hmm. Yeah, I'm trying to bring my screen to the stage. Not just sure why it's not coming out. But let me try again. Yeah, that shows like kind of very tiny. So I'm gonna drag it all the way to a different screen. Okay, that's much better. Okay, now present right here. Okay, I think that works fine. Yeah, I think this is much better. Yeah, not pretty sure why my. So I was trying to, bring in the slide in here, but it was not coming. So I better share my screen and we can use that. All right, so I'm just gonna go back to the comment section. Hey, hello from Nectar. How is Nectar today? Hope you're doing well. It's 10 a.m. over here and ready to learn. Yeah, so let's learn new thing today. Today we'll be learning about building our own first AI agents. Pretty much, let's see the difference with agents and chatbots. Kind of, you know, little differences, a lot of differences actually between the both of them. So we're going to find out actually what the differences are. Okay, awesome. Let's see. I haven't woken up, I've been awake. Okay, okay. So a lot of comments here, but I'm gonna ask. Okay, so the music in the background. I hope it's not too loud. Just reduce that a little bit. Okay. Okay, so just a few questions. If this is your first time hearing about agents, AI agents, if you have used one before now, also let me know in the comment section. If you have used one, if this is your first time hearing, the buzzword AI agents, and if you have ever used one, also. Uh, okay, I'm just gonna stop the music in the background right here. Okay, is it better now? Okay, I think yeah, I think the music is gone. Okay, awesome. Okay, so you have used the backboard agents, not OpenAI though. Okay, yes, thank you. Okay, well, it's gone. I'm new. I don't have much idea about AI agents. Okay, so we're just gonna see how we can actually use the OpenAI API probably. So we're gonna build our own. So we're not using like an existing AI agent out there. We're gonna see example of one. So if you actually don't know exactly what the agent actually does or what they actually do, what they do is simple. They just kind of reason based on instructions they have been given, and they go ahead to work with those instructions. Uh, I'll give you a clear example. If you have used like an Airtable before, I don't know, or fill out forms or any forms at all, and you don't necessarily, build the forms yourself. You just tell the agent, okay, the idea of what you want to do, and the agent goes ahead to create it based on the instructions it has been given from the developers, literally, right? So that's pretty much an agent. So different, very different from like the conventional traditional chat bot, where you just chat with it and it responds based on again the instructions that's given and the information it has been fed. So similar, they all work with information that have been fed, but this one is more like more interactive, and it doesn't have the ability to make a little bit of decision based on what it thinks you need. Okay, so we're gonna understand what that is pretty much. We're gonna build. We're gonna use just a Node.js to build this. We're gonna use the OpenAI API key. So we're going to go to API platform, create an API key. We're gonna use that in our own custom, more like trying to build a custom agent. Then we're going to interact with it from the terminal. So everything we're doing basically will be from the terminal. Okay, that's pretty much what we'll be doing today. So again, just like I said, it's just more like it reasons. So if you have used chatbots before, just it chats is interactive. You're chatting with like an AI. You know, we use agents like literally every day. If you use any ChatGPT, Gemini, Cloud. These are all agents. So they actually have like instructions of what to do, what not to do. So behind the scene, they have been given these instructions. That's why sometimes if you go beyond the instructions that they have been given, they kind of tell you, okay, I'm not programmed to do this or do that. I just come back to the comment section real quick. Let's see. So I've used Google Gemini, ChatGPT, works well for beginner to intermediate development. Yeah. So these are all agents, AI agents. Also use them in production. Cool. So from what I've learned, agents are just like, yeah, they're large language models, but with tools and do only one task. Yeah, pretty much. Just like the example I gave, I'll just open. Let me see if I can go back here. Open a quick example of like an agent pretty much. Let me try to sign in here. So pretty much these are agents. Oops. These are agents, right? So this is like a platform for building forms, apps, pretty much. They have like a form agent and they have like an apps agent. So if I'm trying to use like their form agents, so if I'm trying to like create a form, I can start with let the AI build it for me, for example, and because I'm trying to use the form agent here, so I don't need to like build a form myself. I just tell the I want it to build this and that for me, right? So like I want to build a wedding intake reservation from, yeah, just give it full description of what I want. Maybe keep it tiny, keep it small, and minimum. Right. So I just instruct the agent what I want it to do. So again, this agent is built to do a specific task, which is to build forms. So if I try to ask it to write code, it's not going to do that. So just from the comment section, from what I learned, agents are, yeah, they're just large language models, but with tools, and they do only one task. So by one task, they're like programmed, or the instructions are to do a specific thing. So just like example I just gave, these are like form agents, and what this form agent does, it builds forms, and it can do things aside of form and the platform specifically, right? So that's pretty much the buzzword around agents. They just do a specific thing in a specific platform they have been programmed to do. So this just goes ahead to build a form for me, you know, and I can always, but I can always, reinvent or replan whatever I'm building, just by chatting with the agent. So that's pretty much what agent does. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave this platform back to the slide. So that's pretty much agent. So the simple flow is user, there's an agent. So I'm just gonna jump to the last comments. You say like, but agents are like partners, right? Yes, they're like actually partners. It's like when you're working with someone on something. So with the agent, you can plan, you can replan, build. You don't like something, you tell it you don't like this, change this. So that's pretty much what agents are. Back to this comment section, just to be sure I covered it up. So it's like the small window on some web apps, acting like they are personalized chat GPTs. Yes, pretty much. That's what they do as well. So they're just built for a specific reason, just like I showed. So that is fill out form agents, and of course, they're only built for fill out form platform. Okay, so I've used them and it's lovely. Okay, awesome. Ade, Ife. Jarvis is la- a large language model agent. Not sure I know exactly what Jarvis is. Uh, is it relate? Is Jarvis in the concept of CI/CDs like DevOps? Yeah, I'm not sure I know what Jarvis is. Yeah, but you can do a bit of research on that. So do we need to pay subscription for OpenAI to use the API key? Unfortunately, yes. I don't think they actually allow you to use it without. I don't think they allow you to use it without putting your card. I think they give you a trial, but they still want you to put your card, which you can remove after putting the card. Actually. By the way, where are you from? Okay, that is from Sonis. Okay, but agents are like partners. Yeah, they are. Okay, so what we'll do if we don't have the subscription? Hmm. So I think they give you free trial. Oh, Jetkins, CICD. This is Iron Man. Iron Man's AI. Okay, you guys are confusing me right now. I haven't watched Iron Man. Okay, so I'm gonna answer this question. So what we do if we don't have the subscription? You could just give it a try without entering your card, just to see if that works. If that doesn't work, I think you can. They give you free trial, obviously, so you can actually enter your card details and remove it later. There's a free trial actually. Yeah, but yeah, pretty much try it with that card. If that doesn't work, you can try to just enter your card. It won't work. I think I tried it twice. So I think unfortunately you have to enter like your card details. Uh, yeah, but they're not gonna. They're gonna charge you actually. I think they will. Mm, unfortunately. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put a limit on my card, and I'm gonna create a test API key. Yeah, I can do that. And I can share the API key and we can all use that for this test, for this stream. Of course, after the stream, I'll delete the API key. Yeah. Yeah, I will create a test API key along the way and I will share it and we can all use that. So someone said I use my free trial. Yeah, so I think you can also use your free trial. Did you enter your card, eCoach? Did you enter your card while setting up the OpenAI key? Were you forced to enter your card? Oh, sorry, I didn't get that right. So you have already used your free trial. Okay, I understand what you mean. Yeah, we can pretty much use any other open AI key actually. If it, yeah, like other backbone, Gemini. If you have access to if you have access to AWS too, you can actually explore a whole lot of language models out there in there that you can actually use. So any of that actually works. So you just the same code, just twist the key pretty much. So yeah, everything is pretty much the same thing. So whatever we're going to do today, tomorrow we're going to see how we can also do the same thing in Gemini. If you join my stream tomorrow, but then we're just gonna improve on whatever we built today with the Gemini code, but still the same concept. Not related. Are you a Nigerian? Yes, I'm a Nigerian, and I'm in Nigeria. Okay, so it's back to the slide. So pretty much that's what agents do. And of course, if you use GPT, you see sometimes you can connect other tools inside the agent. Like you can connect your Gmail, you can connect Canvas, you can connect a whole lot of tools inside GPT, inside ChatGPT. So agents can also use tools called other APIs and take real action. So we're gonna see that as we progress. Not today, but tomorrow. We're gonna build up, upon what we built today. Though we're gonna be using Gemini keys for those, but still the same concept. All right. So the three building blocks, literally, there's a brain, which is the large language model. So we're not writing the brain. So there's already companies that have invested billions of dollars in the brain. So we just, again, we pay for the brain and we just use the brain that is already paid for, that we paid for literally. So we pay for the brain, just like when you use GPT Pro. If you're using GPT free, of course, there is limitation, right? So if you're using the Pro, again, that is you paying for the brain. So we pay for the brain, we give it instructions, which is like behavior, and it gives us output. So garbage in, garbage out, and there's memory context as well. So like when you chat GPT, it keeps memory, so it keeps history or memory of you. So if you go to your GPT and ask what's my name, it could literally just tell you what your name is. Ask about you, where do you work or where do you school, what have I been doing lately? So based on things you have shared with it kind of gives you an answer for that. So they're like agents, partners, like someone mentioned. So that's pretty much a partner holding you accountable of things you have, told them in the past. So let's go to this comment section. We will contribute to open source today. No, we will not contribute to open source. We will not discuss about open source pretty much today. So this is literally about using OpenAI key to create agents, custom agents that we can improve and we can use in our personal projects if we want to. We'll be using Node.js for this, but you're free to use any other programming language out there that you're so familiar with and in love with. You can use Python, you can use Java, you can use Node.js, which we'll be using. So any programming language of your choice, you can literally use that. But when I'll be sharing my screen, we'll be using Node.js. The code base I shared also, just gonna share it again on the comment section real quick. It's JavaScript or Node.js, but feel free to use any other language you are very comfortable with. I'm just gonna drop the link to the GitHub repo again. So this actually have all the whole code to basically be using for the stream. So you can go through each of them. And yeah, just pretty much gonna open it here. Let's see what it looks like. And back to the comment section. In Nigeria, are you going for the GITS conference? Honestly, I don't know what that conference is. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. Now you mention it, I may be interested. Maybe. Mm. Yeah, more like an expo, tech expo. Okay. Unfortunately, I won't be going because the time frame will not be around. Have other plans. We had that yesterday. Okay, I think this is about the open source question. I think LMA is a large model, and basically is the intelligence of AI agent that they use to respond to user input. Correct me if I'm wrong. You are absolutely correct. So they're just the brain that OpenAI and the rest of the other big companies have invested billions, and we just tapping from the brain. What is the simplest AI agent I can build? To understand the fundamentals. Pretty much what we'll be doing today. We're just gonna be the simplest AI agent. That's what we'll be building today. The simplest AI agent. So that gives you. I mean, you've used GPT, Gemini, Claude. These are agents, right? So that gives you like, oh, this is literally what agent do those. You can connect agents to those, but we're gonna build our own. So more like we're just building a specific agent to do a specific thing. So that's pretty much what agents are. Okay, so this is the repro, and you can actually use the repro more like clone the repro to your local machine, and each of the steps we're just gonna see. We're gonna run a few codes. We're gonna improve the code. So I just place that in different steps. Like step one, which is gonna do our first request. We're gonna do a second request. We're gonna do our last request, which is giving it memory and so forth. So pretty much you can clone this repository in your local machine and open it in your favorite editor. I'll be using Visual Studio Code. I think it's the most popular now. So that's pretty much the repro. We'll be using that. And you can improve it later on your own. Question here: are we building with OpenAI? Can I start with GitHub now? Yeah, you can. You can download the repro on your local machine. What if we can't code? That is why I've made the code available. So the whole idea of the stream is to build our first AI agent, which is what we'll be doing. So we'll be building our first AI agent. So that's the whole idea of this stream. And by building it, we're going to write some code. So you can pretty much copy the code. I've already provided the code, which is the GitHub repository I shared. I'm just going to place it on the screen right there. So you can just clone the repro and yeah, just pretty much take a look at what the code looks like. So yeah, healthcare it is. Okay, so this is programming languages. So whichever one works for you, you can go with it. Okay. Let's see. So everything we're going to be doing will be running on terminal. So we're not doing anything fancy. We're not going to build like a UI. Everything will be running inside our terminal. So I'm just going to run through the slide quickly. Let me get the check-in out of the screen. Yep, here we go. So just make sure you have Node.js of course. So if you're gonna download the repro that I've provided, it's JavaScript. You need a runtime to run it, which is Node.js version 18 plus up is okay. So make sure you have Node. Of course, if you have Node, of course, if you have Node verify, you have Node npm. Then for the open API key, I'm just gonna show how we can get that right here. So pretty much go to platform.openai.com. Yeah, I'll just copy that link real quick. So open your browser, just go to platform.openai.com/login. So if you already have a GPT account, I think you can literally use it's the same connection, so you can authenticate and have access to create an API key. Yeah, it's gonna ask me to enter my authenticator code, which my phone is very close here. So I'll make use of that. Okay, pretty much this is what the homepage looks like. So you should be able to just navigate to API keys right here, and you should be able to create an API key from this page. Let's see. Yeah, so you can click on create a new secret key. So I'm going to create a test key, but I'm curious if we all use the same key at the same time. So I set a limit on my account. like $5 limit. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen if we all use the key at the same time. We may just exceed the limit. So if you have you can try your OpenAI key, like to create a key on your end. If you have not used a free trial, so you should be able to create a free trial OpenAI key. You should be able to use that even without putting a card. I think so. So you can try that out. Well, anyways, our code is global hackwit. That's a mistake. Global hackwit test key, and I'm gonna create that key. I'm just gonna copy the key and I'm gonna paste it right here on the screen. This is not advisable, but I'm gonna do that. So people shouldn't have your key. Your key should be secret. You shouldn't expose your key to other people. So if you can create your key, create your key. But I'm using this because I'm gonna delete it after this session, so it's not gonna be here. So yeah, and I have a limit I've set on the account, so it can't go beyond that limit. Anyways, here is the key on the comment section, and you can use the key. So it's on the comment section, and I'm not gonna place it on the screen, but you can copy the key from the comment section, and you can keep it safe, and you can use that. You can use that for the rest of the stream. So I have a question on the comments right here. Let's see. So we have our own keys from Backbone. Do that work? I think that would perfectly work. That will work. So you can use that. If while trying to use that, if you have any issue, let me know. Yes, you can. Just use that. If it has issue, let me know. Okay, so if I'm starting this from scratch, I'm just gonna create a folder. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Pretty much create a folder, go into that folder, initialize my project, do some npm install to install the OpenAI module and .environment that we'll be using for our to store the key, pretty much. I'll come back to the whole stuff. So first, got the API, create the API, send some prompts. I just want to run through this. Yeah, so pretty much, let's get started with this. I'll try to share my entire screen. Then we can create the project and let's see, share screen, entire screen. I'm gonna share the screen right here. I'm gonna bring it to the stage and my screen should be visible. What happened to, yeah, I think I lost that. What happened to my slide? Yeah, I think we're here. Okay, I already have my terminal open. I'm just gonna drag it up here. Pretty much expand out. So you can just clone the repository, fine, or you can just follow along like from scratch what I'm doing, and you can just copy the code from each of the script. So any of that works, whichever one that you actually want to. So whichever one that you prefer. If you want to, If you want to clone the repository, you can do that. If you want to create a folder, just look at the code, copy the code, put in each of the files you create. That's also fine. So whichever one that works for you, it's absolutely fine. So I'm just gonna create a folder called AI agent. Let me move this over here. We'll call this. I'll call it AI agent. That's fine. We can cd into the directory AI agent, and yeah, pretty much we can do an npm init -y to initialize the node project. So it's just going to create package.johnson for us. Uh, yeah, and we can install the dependencies before opening this in Visual Studio Code. So we can do npm install. What are we installing? The OpenAI module and .env for storing our API key. So that will just run, and that is done. Go ahead and open Visual Studio Code right here. Where you? Okay, so we can actually do every other thing from here. Yeah, so I'm gonna open the new folder. So I already have this working, but I'm gonna close this and open the. So this is like a final working project of what we're going to do today. I'm just gonna stop this. Open a new folder. It should be here. We call it AI agent. We can open that. Yeah, I'll set that up later. Okay, so I can work from the terminal inside here. Okay, so first things I'm going to do is just create the dot environment where we're going to store our OpenAI key. So I can just do touch.env. All this code are already on the GitHub repository, so you can pretty much see all of it right there. I have like a .env example on the repro. I also have every single code we are writing is pretty much there. So you can follow, you can clone the repro, you can also copy what you have on the GitHub. So whichever one works. I'm just gonna come back to the comment section real quick. Could you paste the command line prompt here? Oh, okay. I didn't think about that. But pretty much you can just create a folder. You can create a folder. You can create a folder on your system and follow along. But if you want me to repeat the command I was using, pretty much we do that. So I was creating a folder from the terminal and had to create a folder on the terminal. Unix terminals precisely, not Windows, is MK, which is make directory. That's the full meaning. So MKDIR, and then the name of the folder you want to create. So you need to make sure you are in. You need to make sure you are in the directory you want to create that folder to start with, right? So if I let me see, I go back right here. I'm inside a folder called dev. I have I created that folder. I want to store my dev stuffs inside the folder. So make sure you're in the folder you want to be working, or you make sure you're in the folder. So to change folders or to go to a different folder, we use CD. Right. So I'm not gonna start teaching command line, what's it called? Command line 101. But yeah, pretty much the commands I use. I use CD to go to a new directory. So if I use CD dot dot, I'm going like two ways back or one way back from the directory I'm in. Uh, so right now, if I do else, it shows me the whole folders that are inside this directory. So this is like my default home directory. I have application, download, the rest of the folder. So I want to go inside dev. So if I want to go inside dev, I use cd dev, which is change directory into dev. Okay, and inside dev, I have I've created some folders, just like what I did to create the AI agent. So what I did was to mkdir, which is make directory space, then you give the name of the agent. Sorry, the name of the folder that you want to create. Right. So if I want to make a directory now called test me, I just call mkdir space test me. So if I do ls, which is list, I can see that folder will be here, test me. So that's pretty much what I just did. Right. Then inside the folder, what I was inside AI agent as a folder, what I did now node commands. So to initialize a project, use npm. You can type it all through like npm init like this, or you can simply use npm I also. Then the hyphen y is pretty much accepting the default instructions, right? So when you just type npm init, it's gonna ask you a few questions you want to use. Do you want to use this JSON that? So just ask you a few questions. So if I use y, I'm saying npm initialize yes to all. So that's pretty much what I did in the terminal to initialize, and then I did npm install. I mean, you can still do install, or you can just do I for installing, then the name of the modules that I want to install. So we want to use OpenAI. We want to use OpenAI key, so we need to install the OpenAI modules. So modules are like pieces of code, small pieces of code that different developers, both big and big companies and a lot of developers out there have already built that solves a specific problem. So the OpenAI module, if I install it just by typing OpenAI, it's going to install a module for me, the OpenAI module inside my project. You're not going to see it. It's just going to live inside here, this big folder that we call node modules. If you open it, you can see there's a folder for OpenAI. There's also a folder for .env. So that's pretty much the two modules that we installed. Let me see. Yeah. So I installed npm install. I can use I can just type in the install OpenAI, and then I wanted to install another module called .env. So this is going to be the module that actually help us to communicate or store our secret key, basically. So that's pretty much what I just did, and then I opened my Visual Studio Code, and I just went to File, and I opened that folder that I've created, and here we are. Okay, so I hope that answered the question, and I hope that's helped you understood everything I just did. If you have questions around that, feel free to ask. Do we need to build and submit to you or not? And this is only for us on our system. So this is only for us on our system. Yes. So just build. You're learning, so we had to learn. So we are building to learn how this thing work, and we're building for our own. So we build. You can push it to GitHub later on. Maybe not today, but this continuation of the stream, we also have a session we're going to distribute or deploy what we built to GitHub and AWS. Okay, so that's pretty much where we are, and we are here right now. And the next thing I did was to create a file. So when I wanted to create a folder, I use mkdir, which is make directory. When you want to create a file, we use touch. So this is all Unix commands. So if you're on Mac OS or if you're on Linux, or even if you're on Windows and using the WSL, that the window, I forgot the full meaning, but if you're on Windows and using WSL, you can actually run Ubuntu inside Windows as well. So Windows, Linux, Mac OS, if you're using Mac OS or Linux, the terminals run on Unix. If you're on Windows, you can literally use the WSL, Windows Subsystem for Linux. I think that's the full meaning. You can use that. You can also run Unix commands in it. Or you could also use Visual Studio Code inside Windows. I think there's a way you can configure the terminal to run Unix commands. Not sure. I think so. So pretty much that's where we are right now. So just do that. Create the file using Touch. This is going to create a file for us called .env, and we're going to store our OpenAI key inside the env. So few things to know, right? So when you create a env file, this is where you store your secrets. So they are like secret vaults, and you don't want people to see your secret vaults. So what that means is, we are if we decide to push our code to GitHub, example, if you go to the GitHub repository I shared earlier, you will not see you will not see a file. You will not see a file. Let me see where you. Oops. Okay, it's not actually there. You will not see a file. I can bring this back to the screen. Okay, here we go. So if you go to the GitHub repository I shared earlier, you will not see .env file because this is where we're storing our secret, and we don't want the rest of the world to see our secret. Even if it's a private repository, you don't need to push your secret to private or public repository. So keep it. What's it called? Best practice. Your private key should be your private key. Okay, so I gave an example of what you can use, which is .env example. So again, this is just a sample. There's no key here. I'm just giving you an example of what we're gonna use. So pretty much this is our next step. So copy this and I can pretty much place it in here. And I can change the key. So the key I pasted earlier, the OpenAI key, that's pretty much what you want to use here. Did I close it? Yeah, it should be here. So I still have it. So I'm just going to copy it and I'm going to paste it here. Okay, so we just want to store our key here. So our key is going to be here. Fine. Should I paste the key on the comment section? I'm just going to paste it again if anybody needs it. Let me run through quickly on the comment section here. Let's see. Do I have to submit my work like the GHW before July? For this stream, no. Are we building the agent step by step, or are we just studying the existing GitHub representation to understand how it works? We are building it step by step. I just give you the repro so you can take a look at the code and can copy the code while building with me on the stream. So yeah, we're building it step by step, and the repro have different steps of what we'll be building. So we're gonna go from step 1 to step 2 to step 3. So the whole codes are all here for your reference. I hope that answered the question. Okay, so the good news. So I'm doing something wrong. Okay, this is regarding the previous question you asked on the OpenAI key, I guess. I think I answered this question already. The commands I run, I just went through it all over again. So hopefully that helps. Again, you can create the folder, follow along, or you can just clone the repro and open it in your local directory. Different ways you can clone actually. So you can actually just download the whole stuff as a folder. You can click on code and download as a zip code, or you can use the command line. So if you have used GitHub, I think there was an intro to GitHub. You can just use a GitHub clone to do git clone and download it in your directory. So whichever works for you. Okay. When I copied the ENV example, it didn't prompt me to hit my OpenAI key. So again, this is what I did. So just that is a sample. So you just need to replace the example here with the real key. So that's pretty much what you're supposed to do. So they were just ENV is literally again where we store our environment variables like secret variables. So we declare a name for the variable we want to use. So I'm calling this variable open you know API key, OpenAI API key. That's the variable name. I can reuse it, like call it, so it can actually help me to make connections. So it's secret key. So variable and then the value of the variable. So the name of the variable equal to then the value of the variable. Okay, how do we prevent an agent from isolating or taking an incorrect action? This question always comes up, and honestly, AI is dumb. Sometimes GPT, does that. Gemini does that sometimes. They just start going around circles. Is still a big problem for the big boys, and it's still gonna be a big problem. So, but we just give it instructions based on what we want it to do. But sometimes they just run around circles. So they are not humans again. So they are AI. So they are dumb. So yeah, but how we actually make sure we can actually get the best out of them is literally giving them the full instruction of what they should do and what they should not do, pretty much. Yeah, you can clone. Yeah, so you can I clone it in Git and do it there, or I have to install Node.js? Not sure if I understood the question. So if you want to run this locally, you need Node.js, right? Because the code is written in Node.js. So if you want to run it locally, you need the Node.js. So you need to install Node.js if you want to run it locally. Uh, and you can actually install Node.js. So you can just go to nodejs.org, download Node.js, or you can use NVM, whichever one works for you. So you can, yeah, let me talk about that. So you can go to Node.js, where is it? .org and install Node.js on your favorite machine. There are options. Just go to download. You have options for Mac, Windows, Linux, pretty much. And yeah, you can follow the instructions here to download them in your machine. I'm using NVM. NVM actually helps you to run different versions of Node.js inside the same environment. But just pretty much, you can just go to nodejs.org/download and download the version. Just use the long-term support version and download for your operating system. After downloading it, just follow the instructions here. This is for Mac. For Windows, these are instructions for Windows. They also give you option to download like an installer of it. So you can also download an installer for Mac. So this is if you want to use the command line. If you want to download the installer, you can also use these other options. There's Windows. You can install the Windows installer. There is Mac. There is Linux. So I'm just gonna paste this link in the comment section if anyone needs that. Here we go. So on the screen. Okay, have I covered all the questions so far? So after cloning, you have to check if you have Node.js already installed. So you can actually, so Node.js, literally when you install it, it should be installed globally. So you should be able to check even before cloning if you have it installed. So you can do node hyphen version. That should give you the version of node you are running on. So if you try this on your terminal, you don't have node, then that means you don't have node, then you need to install node. And then after installing node, just confirm again by running, node version, node hyphen version, or I think node hyphen v also works for the same thing. Oh, it doesn't. Uh, you can also do that for npm just to make sure you have npm installed. Yeah. So once it gives you back the version number, then successfully installed it. Okay. So I hope that answered that question. So you can clone before installing, you can install before cloning. So whichever one works. They didn't share an API key. Yes, I did. I think it's still on the comment section, but I'll share it again. Okay. Okay, so I'm here. Says I cloned it and created a repro on my GitHub and set the repro's link as removed. Now the project links on GitHub as my own. Yeah. So when you go to when you follow the GitHub repository I shared, and you actually click on the fork, it forks the repro to your own account. So it becomes like your own. So that is expected. Cool. Okay. The cost of that so-called isolating is actually the usage of the LM models, because even though it doesn't know the response of any particular user input, it somehow responds with an answer claiming it's correct. So our RAG models is far better than any model. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, so again, if you chat with GPT sometimes, it just want to be right, right? Even when it's wrong, that's why they always put a disclaimer that AI can be wrong. So they don't want you to sue them. So it can be wrong. So because these problems always happen. Let's see. Any other question? How do we check if the agent is reliable or not? I mean, if it's again, like I showed in the beginning, right? We have like a form agent that was using. So how do you know if it's reliable or not? When you use it, if it's doing what the developers say it does, then it's reliable. If you have used it and it solves the problem, so like that is the form agent. The work is to help me build forms. So if I use it, give it instructions, and it's building the form, then it's working for me. And if I give it instructions and it's not building what I want, then it's not working for me. I mean, I can give feedback to the developers. Hey, this is not working as you sell that it should, and they could make some changes to make sure it has all the whole instructions and how to and how not to, pretty much. You can always create a feature environment, install a Node.js there. Are we coding anything on top of this already existing Git code? No, we are not. So everything there is basically what we'll be using. So we're not coding anything different from it. Okay, so pretty much we have that. Next thing I want to do is make sure I have Git ignore. So I want to create a Git ignore. So touch dot Git ignore. So if I'm going to push my code to GitHub, I want to make sure that I I tell Git I tell Git files it should not track, because we don't want to put example, we don't want to put node modules up there. That is a very large file, so it's actually not doing anything for us up there. We don't want to put even the env, because it shouldn't be there. So pretty much we can just ignore those two files right here. So you can pretty much just do .env and do node module. When you create a new directory in GitHub, it gives you option to select gitignore files, and you can select your favorite programming language from there. So it creates the file automatically for you. I think it's already there in the repro as well. So that's pretty much what we need to do here. What next? We can create our first file. I'm gonna use one code for everything we're doing, but you have the whole code, so you can always change that from your end. So I'm just gonna create a file called index.js, and I'm gonna be using that for everything we'll be running. And yeah, I'm just gonna copy the code we have, existing code we have in GitHub for each step, and we just yeah, just go through it and run the code. So I'm gonna copy the code for step one, which is pretty much doing what is it doing? Let's see. Nothing obvious. We're just importing OpenAI, the module. We need to import the module we want to use. So we're pretty much importing those two modules right here into our code. So that's pretty much what we're doing here. We're initializing a variable called client to create an instance of the OpenAI module we have actually imported and use the API key from our environment variable, which is the API key we have actually entered here. And finally, we're just creating a response that we want to return back after. So the API key, sorry, we're gonna run through OpenAI and create whatever, give it an input and a model we want to use. So OpenAI have different models, so you can check out the models and the descriptions, what they do, how fast it is, and you can always change the models to test based on what you want to use. And we give it an input, so it's expecting an input. So pretty much input, and it gives us a response based on the input. So at first, I'm just saying, hey, explain what an AI agent is to a beginner in three sentences. It's just the input I'm giving it. So if I go ahead to run this code, something is telling me I'm going to have an error message, but let's see. So I can do node index.js. Yeah, it will run error message. I know why. So I'm using ESSys import here. I'm supposed to actually tell it to use that. So type common.js. I want to change that to. I also change that to what? To module. So I'm using ESC, so it should be module right here. Yeah, thank you. So that tells it I'm trying to use ESCs. I think I can run this again and it should work fine. It's not. Why? Say module not found. Did I get it wrong? It should be M. Okay. Yeah, the M here should be uppercase. Is it? I don't think so. I wrote ingest. Oh, my bad. Oh, okay. Okay. It says OpenAI key. There's an issue with that. Why? So this throwing an error with the key. It's a connection error with the key. Let me guess. Have anyone used the key already? Just gonna check. Copy the key again just to make sure I have the key that I need. I'm just gonna refresh. Let me see the usage. Yeah, nothing fancy. There have been total 39 requests so far today. Yeah, I think the key is correct. Not sure why it's not connecting. Okay, it's working now. Maybe I didn't get it correctly, but yeah, I just copied it again and pasted, and it's working. All right, so it just answered based on the input we gave it, right? So it's just saying, hey, it's just explaining what's. I thought it had free credit. Do we have a code for credit? You can literally just use a free, like it if you just sign up for the first time, it gives you free credit to use. Like you have free OpenAI key credit to use, so you can pretty much use that. But if that is not working, you can use the API key I just dropped in the comment section, just for this session. So this actually confirms our agent is working, is doing pretty much what it's supposed to do right now. So what it's doing is just taking the input and just responding. So there's an input, we ask it to explain what AI agent is to a beginner in 3 sentences, and it just did that. Right. So it's a program language that says ba 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 and ba 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 and ba ba ba. So it gives us an input, sorry, an output. So that means it's working. So we can go to the step two of what we want to do. So we want to make it a little bit robust, not like in a big way. We just want it to be a little bit answer this, answer that. Let's see. So I think what we're going to introduce is more like a input and output. So we can actually chat from the terminal, more like make it interactive. You can ask it something and it can respond to whatever we're asking it. So pretty much what we want to do right now. So more like instruction. I have a comment right here. I say, can you please share the code? If you're referring to the GitHub repository codes, I shared that before, and I will share that again. Here we go. I'm just gonna copy the code in GitHub repo. Yeah, I'm just gonna paste that again in the comment section. So all the code we are running is they're all here. So we have the step one, which we just run right now, and we have the step two, which is what we're gonna do right now. So we're just introducing something new in step two. What are we introducing? We're just introducing an interactive way, so we can actually chat with the agent. And yeah, pretty much we're just going to use Node inbuilt modules to read input and send output to the agent. So that's pretty much what we're going to do right now. So I'm just going to copy this code and clear what I have here. So I'm not creating the step one, step two. I'm just going to use one file for the whole code I'm going to run here. But pretty much that is what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to, that didn't copy where? Oh, yeah, I think it did. Again, few things just changed. Just few things that change here is these two codes. We're using node modules, inbuilt modules to read and write to the terminal. That's pretty much, so st in and st out. That's pretty much what we're using right here. And what again? Yeah, we just make it a little bit more fancy. Yeah, like welcome to your first AI agent. Type is it anytime to quit. Yeah, we're taking the question, whatever it gives us, and we're gonna send it back to OpenAI and give it an instruction of what we want it to do. Now we're introducing instruction, right? We are making it more personal, more personalized, to be more of what we want it to be. So before it was just a general input, give out output based on whatever input we give it, which is basically what you can do from your ChatGPT or Gemini, just like when you're browsing, asking a question to Google. But now we want to introduce instructions. So this is like going to tell the model who it should be, right? So we want it to be something different. We want to personalize what it should be. So Here, we're asking you to be a friendly AI mentor, helping beginner developers keep answers concise, explain technical concepts in simple language. So this is basically where this is like you know, the main deal of the new, you know, the new improvements. So we're introducing instructions. We're making the AI more personalized, or the agent more personalized of exactly what it should be. So this is usually where you can always change things if the AI agent is not being what you intend for it to be, if it's not doing what it's supposed to do. So that means maybe your instructions have some flaw and there's no concise instructions exactly what it should do and what it should not do. So this is pretty much what we do right here. Introducing instruction on how the AI should respond, the language you should use, what it should like, how the tone should be, and all of that. So this is pretty much where we do that. So, and then we give you the question the user ask, and use this instruction, give us an output. So that's pretty much the new improvement. So if I clear my terminal and run this again, we should have like a different interface. So this is just gonna ask this is me, which is me, you. Uh, Again, this is basically everything we configured here. So is we can change how we want that to be, and you can ask a simple question. How do I learn JavaScript, for example? I'm probably going to make a mistake. Let me see if it will actually understand what I want to ask. Let's see how smart it is. Okay, so we can also improve like the terminal, but we're not going to do that. So these are things you can also look at how you can improve it. So we can also improve the terminal, like when you ask question, it should give like a little bit of thinking, like thinking icon, like he's trying to think to answer, that kind of experience. So it's really all about experience, right? So you can always build something to look a little bit more user friendly. So it actually answered. uh I want to know if it actually understood what I wanted. Yeah, so I mistakenly purposely typed JavaScript wrong, but I think let's see what it actually came back with. So do you mean JavaScripts like git, just in time, compliers inside v8? Okay, so it's trying to understand more of what I was trying to do, which is cool. Uh, Also, it's asked me that question, and it actually answered based on every possible scenarios as well. Like it answered what GIT are. It's give me like prerequisites for learning JavaScript. You don't know JavaScript is great. Yeah, I used this book back in the days. Very great book to learn JavaScript, by the way. Step by step learning plan. So this is cool. So it's actually acting with instruction. So it acting like a mentor, helping beginner developers to answer questions. So I think he's doing the work so far that we asked him to do. Uh, so let's actually try something. So I'm going to tell it my name is Vincent. I'm going to remove this on the screen. I'm going to prompt. I'm going to say, my name is Vincent. It will like, oh, nice to meet you, Vincent. I'm here to help. How can I assist you today? We like to call you. Would you like me to call you Vincent or a nickname? Call me Vincent. So I want to test the memory, right? Right now, it doesn't actually have a memory. So, hi, got it, Vincent. How can I help you? If I ask you what's my name, uh, does it say it's Vincent? No, it doesn't. So it says, I don't know your name. What would you like me to call you? But I just ask it to call me Vincent. And it literally say, got it, Vincent, how can I help you today? But I just ask it what my name is, and it still doesn't know what my name is. So right now it's just garbage in, garbage out. What we give at that moment is what it just answered. So it doesn't have a memory. So it can remember what we asked it before. So it's more like a new terminal or a new uh, question and answer each time. So it's actually not going to remember, even if it asks us a follow up question here, oh, do you mean this or that? That is why it literally went ahead to give us all the whole possible answers without us answering, yeah, we mean JavaScript. Yeah. So again, because there is no memory in it, so it doesn't actually understand. It doesn't actually understand what is it's not actually storing the information so far. So, but pretty much it's working fine based on the instruction we gave it. So there was a comment earlier that how do we know if the agent is actually doing the job that we ask it to do, is performing the job that it has been programmed to do, is literally by making sure it's actually doing everything the instruction says. And so far, I think this is doing everything the instruction says, right? It's actually answering as a friendly mentor and giving resources and stuff. Okay, so let's see comment section. Have I failed create? See the goals. Create. Taking broken again. Yeah, I mean these platforms. Again, I can just use the key I shared earlier. Where is it? I can share it again. If anyone still need it, should be right here. Oh, okay. I can literally copy it from the code, right? Yes, I can. So I can just copy it from here. So you can use the key. Uh, why is not copying and pasting? Not sure why, but I'm gonna try that again. Okay, here we go. So it's in the comment section, so you can actually use that. Let's see more on the comments. How do I build a pipeline to log this output to some front end app running on another port? Uh, yeah, I'll leave that up to you. But pretty much is you can actually build it in kind of in an API way, right? So whatever information, I mean, again, you can build it as a monolithic app where you plug in your HTML input and send it back once, like make it iterative. But the whole purpose here, we are using Terminal, but pretty much you can do anything you want to do for that. You can build it as, and it can be a monolithic app where you have like plugin, just set up a simple HTML, CSS file, send the inputs, whatever the user is entering from the field, send it here, send the output back to them, like a simple chatbot. So you can do that pretty much. Do that. So how can I build that is by building that, if that answered your question. So just by building that, so if you actually know HTML, CSS, or whichever language you use, so if you actually know how to build that, you can literally build that. So just build that. Uh, um, but if you have like a specific question you're asking, happy to help. But if you're asking like, can we build this? Like, is it possible? Yes, it's possible. You can, try build that. How many parameters does this model have? So we're using GPT-5 mini. I'm not sure, but you can literally research that and see. Okay, so yours work awesome. So here we just log in the answers to the console. Yeah, we just log in the answers to the console. So I guess you shouldn't put that into a variable. Instead, and pass it into put it to anywhere. Sorry. Here, oh, I think are you answering the question? Okay, yeah, you are answering the question of how can we, if you want to build that in like the UI. So you can actually, use the field inputs to take the input. So we're totally doing everything inside UI, no front end. Sorry, we're doing everything in terminal, no front end. But you can plug in your front end and get info, send info back and stuff. Let's see. Oh, this is cool. Okay, cool. Yeah, play with that and you can let me know how it goes. Let's see. Any other questions we have here before we go to the third one, which is introducing memory? So if you have like a free credit from Backboard, you can also use that. You can use that. You just need to change pretty much search for backbone Node.js. If you're using Node.js precisely, if you're using Python, fine. Just search how you can actually communicate with their module, their API key, and I, I think it should be pretty much the same. But you can take a look at the documentation and see how it works from their end as well. But it's pretty much the instructions and the models and the input. Let's see. Okay, I see you are communicating and collaborating. Yeah. Just join. What we discuss and what we have to do in this session. Can anyone tell me? Hmm. Also, we have actually done a lot, and we have actually gone a little bit far. Where you can actually rewatch the stream on YouTube after to actually, like get an overview of everything we did today. But pretty much, we're just building an AI agent, and we're understanding how agents works and how we can actually build our own custom agent. So pretty much, we have actually gone like real far, So we're kind of wrapping up pretty much, but you can rewatch the stream and follow along to actually catch up on everything we have just done so far. Okay, so back to it. Right now we have instructions, and it is actually, doing exactly what we want it to do, but we don't have a memory, so it doesn't actually remember uh, maybe the last question I asked or what my name is. So again, we're just going to introduce memory, right? Again, it's not really like a big deal. It's just few instructions we're just going to give it to introduce memory. So if you take a look at the code again, which is for agent with memory here, we pretty much just created a variable called history. So this is just a temporary memory again. Like in as much as the app is running, it's just a temporary memory. It's not like a database or storing it somewhere. So we're not actually storing it somewhere. So this is like just basic intro to introducing memory to our application, right? So we're just creating a variable called history, which is an array. So it's like an array of infos. We just want to, send those arrays. Just want to send those inputs as an arrays inside here. So that it's stored temporarily, and the agent can actually communicate with the history that we have. So again, this is just temporal. It's just working right there in the terminal, right there. If we just exit the terminal, it's all cleared out. So it's just an array. Let's see. The interface and main executable is written in JavaScript with Node.js, but built on NPM. Not sure if okay, I think this is still question of what we're building. Someone asked on the screen in the comment section. I guess, yeah. I'm just gonna copy the GitHub repo link again if anyone needs that. I think someone needs it. So this is the link. I'm just gonna drop it right here. It pretty much have instructions here as well. You can clone that. You can see the into it. Credits, copy what you have here to here, change the Open API key, run this step by step. So it's literally have the instructions you need to follow. And don't forget to check in if you have not. So I'm just going to drop the check-in link again since I just saw it right now. Yeah, so make sure you check in if you have not checked in. Back to introducing memory to our code. So pretty much very just an array of history. So this is not anything special. We're just creating an array of histories, and we just want to store the inputs right there. So so basically what we do is we send the whole input to history, right? So each time we give an input, we just save it into history. Each time we give an input, we just save it to the history, so that the AI have all the whole history of everything we've been asking it. Just like when you're talking with GPT, it kind of stores everything in that chart, like everything you have in that chart, it keeps a history, a memory of it. So that's pretty much what we're just doing right now, or what we're introducing right now. So just two things change. The other things that change from the previous code we have here is an array of history called history, and then for the input, and we are pushing every content or question we ask inside the history. So it's an array, so we're just pushing everything inside there. And then finally we are, for the AI, when we're communicating with it, the input we're giving it is the history. So it's just gonna answer based on, it can remember what we ask it because it has all the whole history. So it has the whole context. So if I say what's my name, I ask what's JavaScript. If I push all of that to it, when I'm asking what's my name again, it remembers that what's my name? It has answered it as Vincent, so it brings that back. So that's pretty much the new improvement we're just gonna make to the code. So nothing fancy per se. So I'm just gonna stop the terminal. And so in production environment, how do we actually store this history? So this is a question someone is asking. So again, temporal, right? So how do we actually store information if we are actually pushing our code to production? So nothing different from traditional storing information that you got from users. So instead of you're putting it in a database, and then you push that, you can put it in chunks. So example, you can create, maybe they give example in production. If you want to store those infos, store those history, then you can put it in a DB database, pretty much. But if it's like a temporal, you can store it in the browser history. Not really safe, but yeah, I'm just giving instances. So pretty much how you push information or store information uh, in an application. So you store it in database or use cache databases like Redis as well. So again, it's just a database if you want to store the information. So that's the simplest answer to that question. So I just copied everything we have here pretty much, and we can use that in here. So the only thing that changed is we introduce history, which is an array, and we just push all the whole input into it, and we send that input to the agent or the language model pretty much. So if I run this again, it should be a little bit smarter. If I say AI agent with memory right now, I have a question here. It says, why array to store history? I mean, can you tell me why didn't we use other data structures for it? I think it's this decision from the other data structures in context to AI agents. Not pretty much. So okay, just taking the questions one at a time. So not pretty much. Like we're just using array because we're getting pretty much chunks of which other data structure we have used apart from array. I mean, it's just a test, and we can store. We're getting a test, so it's pretty much tests. We just want to keep each of those tests inside the array. So it's not like specific to AI agents. So it's basically it's not AI agents in this case. It's just us working with what we have or how we want to just store those inputs so that we can send it back as as input. So again, this is literally what the agent or the model is taking in. It's just taking an input, right? So it could be just a simple input. I can just write a text here. It could be it could be an array of strings, which is pretty much what we are sending back. So again, it's just expecting an input. It could be an array of text. It could be just a simple text, let's just a string. So we just wanted a way that can be convenient for us to store all the whole input so that it keeps it like a memory, if that makes sense. Let's see, how powerful can this get? Can I eventually add tools, connect third-party apps, etc. without complicating it too much? Yes, we will get to that, not today, but it's the thought stream. If you'll be joining my thought stream, so we'll be looking at how we can actually make it more powerful. So just gonna be building on Paul what we built today again. So we'll see how we can make it more powerful. You can communicate to other API keys. So we can pretty much, let's say you ask, example of what you just asked is we can have like a weather API that we can send information to the API. So let's say user ask, what is the weather today in London? And we want to get that specific info correctly from a different API, then send that info to the LLM, the model, and then the model gives us an input. So this is us plugging in an external tool. Uh, yeah, that's an example. It could be we want to plug in uh, Gmail API so that and we can ask it, can you help me? Can you help me read a mail, the latest unread mail, something like that. So it communicates with a different key API or different third party, then pass it to the agent, and the agent kind of summarize and stuff and give it back. So yes, the answer is yes, we can do that without complicating it. Again, agents should be agents are built for a specific thing. So they are built to do this. So they shouldn't be used to do this. Right? I gave an example. That back to this agent that I showed an example. This is a form agent. I think you can actually add it. So this agent actually helps you build the form. Here, that's the work. And you can upload a PDF. So the agent actually has the ability to read the PDF and extract information from the PDF to help you build the form. So again, just agents should be based on what they're supposed to do. So it shouldn't be like so complicated. But the answer to the question is yes, we can. Let's see. You can give it like a web search tool to look for correct information, or connect your Gmail MCP, yeah, and have it sort your daily morning brief and stuff like that. Yes, you can. That's pretty much like you can make it more powerful. It involves me. Let's collaborate. Possible make a startup. Can anyone help me? Can anyone help me with like where you should try some of the challenges after doing it? So this specific stream is not like a challenge that you have to submit. Uh, I can get a challenge link for you, but yeah, I think you have a lot of challenges there. You can actually complete. I'll look into that real quick. Which other comment we have here? It shows only it can be submitted when the event is open. I'll look into that real quick for you. Your inbox blocked though. Okay, so we can actually test this and see if it's actually doing what it's supposed to do. So if I say my name is Vincent, again, it's just gonna store that. Yeah, it will. Uh, and come in, tell me what I can help you with and stuff. If I ask it what is my name, it should remember that because now we are actually sending the whole history back to it. So it should remember what we asked it to be. Uh, it's not working. Let's see. So it says, uh, let's see. Not sure it's working. What is my name? I don't know your name. I don't have access to personal info unless you tell me. For example, I am Vincent. Right? I just told you. Is it actually working or not? I see. Nice to meet you, Vincent. You said your name is Vincent, so your name is Vincent. Okay, so now it's actually remembering, and yeah, but it specifically wanted me to be a little bit plain with like I am Vincent, even though I've said my name is Vincent, and I'm like, hey, what's my name? And it's like, okay, I don't know your name. You can tell me what your name is. Example, I am this. But so the fact is, we can actually introduce kind of a bit of memory, simply that like the simplest memory options we can introduce to make it look a little bit smart, that it remembers stuff. Hi, hello. Thank you for joining the stream. Let's see. I had rate limit error. Are you using the API key I shared? Are you using the API key? So if you're using the same API key I shared, I read your comment. Hi, how are you doing today? And where are you joining us from? If you're using the same API key I shared, you shouldn't be hitting any limits because I'm still using it and it's working. So I think someone shared the challenge link already on the comment section. Okay, use your personal API key. So I see. So that's pretty much it. And you can find ways you can actually make it look a little bit more better. Like change the prompt. That's instructions pretty much. So change instructions. Let me see. Give me 1 second. So you can change the instructions. Try to see. You can also change the model. You can take a look at all the whole models to see the differences and find a way to change the model and experiment with it to see if it does something much better. Let's see. So you use your own personal key. So if you're hitting limits, I think because if it's a trial, then I think there should be a limit. So the one I shared earlier, there's a card in my account, so there shouldn't be any limit in it. So that should be working. I'll share it again. 1 second, right here. Yeah, but after this session, after this session, I'm definitely deleting that key. So you actually can use it throughout this session. Let's see. You can just change the key. So just copy your key, just copy the key I just shared and just replace it with the key in your environment. So that should be pretty straightforward. Cool. I'm glad you're enjoying the session. Okay, so I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. I just entered in college. Confused what to learn? Like language first. Can you suggest me? Yeah, this is a question that always come up. So my question is, what are you like, or like, what are you studying in college right now? Are you studying computer science? What's your major? That'll be my first question. And I think the second question will be, what do you like doing? Like, what interests you? And are you asking specifically like a programming language you should learn? I have an answer for that question, and the answer is anyone. Just pick anyone. Yeah. So you mentioned in CS, so you're pretty much going to learn a whole lot of languages. Why, I don't know if they still have JavaScript. Sorry, Java in the syllables, but you're going to come across different languages. Uh, just learn and just you're going to come across different languages. One thing with choosing any programming language you want to learn is just pick one, learn the fundamentals very well. The fundamentals is what matters. Like just learn the fundamentals very well. So to pick any other language is very easy. So if you learn the fundamentals of, let's say, programming in Java, in C, in C++, in C Sharp, whichever language you learn the fundamentals, you can pick up any other language very easily if you want to. So it's not really about the language, it's also about what your interests are, right? If you're someone that wants to go into robotics, you should learn languages that actually align with those interests. If you're like, oh, web, front end, back end, I mean, there are a whole lot of options, but if you're going to do front end, then you must learn JavaScript. Like it's not debatable. You must learn JavaScript. If you must do front end. So again, is pick one language as a beginner. Don't allow yourself to just get looped in the whole language world. Different languages. Which one should I like? Just pick one. Pick anyone. It can be Python. Just pick it. Learn it very well. Master the fundamentals and you will actually decide which other language you want to learn in future if you want to. You decide the path you want to go from there. Just my advice is just pick one, anyone at all. C is good, C++ is good, Python is just pick one. Don't debate on it so much. Just pick one. Learn it very well. Understand the fundamentals of CS with it. That's pretty much all you need. So it's not really about language, it's about understanding the fundamentals of how the whole systems work. And picking that language, learning it very well, the fundamentals, you can actually, change any language along the way. So when I started programming, I started learning Python. That's pretty much the language I started with. Like the first programming language, not the first programming language I started with, but that language I picked to learn programming. But along the way, I actually switched from it to JavaScript, Node.js. So again, just pick one, anyone at all, learn the fundamentals. They're just transferable. You can pick any other one along the way, and you should be good to go. I hope that helps. I have a question here. I hope you're fine. I just came late to live. Can you explain all this shortly? Okay, shortly, we just build agents. We just see how we can actually build agents using OpenAI. That's pretty much in a snappy short summary of what we did in this session. So I actually have like 9 minutes to go before the session ends. But what we did was to see how we can build our own custom agents, AI agents using OpenAI. So that's what we did on this session today. So you can always rewatch the stream on YouTube. You can rewatch the whole stream to see what we did. So yeah, that's pretty much what we did. There's a GitHub repository also for the whole code that we use for this stream. I'm just going to share it again one more time. Should be right here. You can also catch up with that. Like in case you're watching the video and you need access to that, this is it right here. So just share it on the comment section so you can catch up with that. So that's what we did. We use Node.js for this, but if you're like good with other languages like Python and the rest of them, also good. You can use that. I'm glad I'm helpful. Okay, so I've allowed anyone to text me, so please try again. Not sure I got that. Okay, so right now I don't know much. Just 1 week into college, and people already know a lot of things about things. I feel like I'm behind them. They talk a lot about stuff I don't know at all. This is normal, right? It's normal. So don't feel intimidated. Don't feel left behind. Don't feel, uh, you know, don't feel left behind. Don't feel alone. Even though when I joined college, like before I joined college, I was already learning programming, right? So different, but I also made friends that actually didn't know anything about programming or even computer. They just have interest. That was why they wanted to major. I majored in computer engineering. That was why they wanted to actually, learn about or major in computer science or engineering. So you're not behind. You just have to start. Just start somewhere. Just start somewhere, right? Attend classes, go the extra mile. Of course, you can do more, which is taking your time to learn. Explore resources are here. There are a lot of free resources you can use. There's free code camp. There's free code camp. I love free code camp back in the days. So there's free code camp. There's other resources that you can actually use. There's global hack week. There's hackathons. Hackathons are also good ways where you learn. So just explore the resources you need to use to learn. Uh, Pick any language and get the best resource on that language you want to pick, and it should be good. Within 2 3 months, you should be having the same conversations your peers are having in classes. You should be, just start. That's the question. That's the answer. Just start. You don't need to feel left behind. You don't need to feel like you're not doing much. You just need to start. So if I say if I don't know how to drive a car today, what do I need to do to learn how to drive a car? I just have to start learning how to drive a car. So yeah, just start. Hi Jerome, do we have a takeaway assignment? And also for some reasons I cannot chat in the group. We just saw your chats, unless you are referring to the chats on Discord. Uh, yeah, we can see your chat here. So if you're referring to the chat in the Discord, let me know. I can just note that down. You can send me your. I'm just gonna note your name down. I can just use that to search for you on Discord and see why you can't chat on the group. So that should be Jerome Juma, if I'm correct. Yeah, I'm just gonna put that on my notes. But I will check that out. Where's my notes? I have a note. Okay. So just 5 minutes to go. I'm just gonna drop the feedback link also. So just let us know how the global hack week has been going so far and what we can do to improve. And yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any suggestions, if you enjoyed the stream, if you think we could have do better, and feel free. It's a feedback, so feel free to express yourself and let us know how streams have been going, a specific session you enjoy, you didn't enjoy, something you think, oh, we could do this better. So just feel free to give us a feedback. So don't forget to feed the feedback link. Hi. Okay, so someone regrets for learning other tech stacks instead of Node.js, C++, and all? Because nowadays, I see a few of tech companies hiring employees with the above skills rather than others. There's always going to be demand for. There's always going to be like a trade. There was a period where JavaScript, React was like the boom of the day. There was a period where it was like Python, everybody looking for Python developers. This just threads that will continue happening in the tech ecosystem, right? So it doesn't define, if you learn this, you're not gonna. So here, companies are looking for specific tasks because of how their product works and how their stacks are built. That's why they're looking for that. There was a time Facebook Meta now was hiring people that knows PHP only. They focus on PHP developer because Facebook was literally built 80% on PHP then. So they're looking for people with that skill. So my answer is my comment on this is there is no regret in uh, in knowledge. Yeah, there's no regret in knowledge. Knowledge is your knowledge. Whatever you learn, you use it forever. Is your knowledge. So there is literally nothing like regrets when you learn something. So pick a tool, learn it very well, focus on it, and become a master in it. So become a master in the tool, and people will rush you for that, right? So I think that's the best advice I can give for this comment. So pick a tool, become a master in that tool, and when they come, people come in a room and they're looking for, oh, okay, who is the best in this? People just point to you. Not like there's no other people that know that, but you're the best in it. So just pick a tool, become a master in it. So there's no regrets, just only lessons. Okay, so I just found out about MAH and saw the live stream. Does this happen daily or bi-weekly? So MAH has a lot of programs going on. I'm just gonna share the MAH link with you. You can actually join the Discord. Let me see. So you can just go to mah.com. You can attend the events. You can uh, join the community. So just share the link, mah.com, on the comment section. You can attend different events to the community. There's a lot of hackathons, fellowships, a lot of amazing stuff happening here. I always recommend MAH to newbies as well. So this is where you need to be. Okay, so just have a minute to go. So we're gonna call it a day, and I will definitely see you tomorrow if you join my stream tomorrow. It's pretty much a continuation of this. We're just gonna see how we can use Gemini instead of OpenAI that we use. So it's free. So MAH is free events, free everything we do here is free. So you don't get paid. You get rewarded actually for attending events, for attending hackathons. You may even find your future co-founder right here. So MAH is the same place you should be. Tomorrow, I'm just gonna. You can just check the schedule. I'm gonna share the schedule again. We should be able to see everything we have in the schedule. So the next event thing should be in the next 1 hour. Your first open source contribution reviewed and merged live part 2. So I think someone asked me of that question today, like do we contribute to open source or so? So you can check out the next stream coming up. It's all about contributing to open source. You just share the link to the schedule so you can actually see the schedule. You can actually see the schedule of the upcoming events for the Global Hack Week this month. For my stream tomorrow, that will be a continuation of what we just did today. It will be building smarter AI agents with Google Gemini. You see it in day 3, so you can check out the time in your own local time zone. So it's kind of different on my own. So just check it out. You'll see the time in your own local time zone. And you have other amazing events before that. So just feel free to attend other events and yeah, just learn something new and just keep building your portfolio. Okay, so we're gonna call it a day, and I'll see you in the next one. And again, don't forget to feed the feedback link. Have it on the screen right there, and let us know how we can improve, do better, and yeah, make sure you stay hydrated. Okay, so bye bye. See you. See you soon.